Eddie Brock, now Venom, has ascended as the fearsome King in Black, commanding all symbiotes across space and time, and with that power comes a dangerous temptation, to return to the moment when his collusion with Jack-o'-lantern bound him to the symbiote, before his fall into Venom, when Peter Parker still wore the black suit. But tampering with the past could destroy entire realities. Today's theme is Venom, Original Sin Number 1, written by Steve Orlando and illustrated by Scott Koblish, where Eddie confronts his greatest mistake and opens the door to a cosmic abyss. Eddie Brock begins the story as the mighty King in Black, immortal, wise, and burdened by guilt. He remembers his first encounter with Jack-o'-lantern, Jason Massendale Jr., where a vile deal pulled him deeper into the alien symbiote. That moment was decisive. The symbiote that once bonded with Peter Parker became the seed of darkness that would later corrupt Eddie. Now, Brock uses his power to travel through time via the connected symbiotes, returning to that fateful day. He appears in Peter's apartment, back when the young Spider-Man had no idea he was wearing a symbol of corruption. His plan is simple: stop Jack from offering the symbiote to Spider-Man. But when he tries to intervene, he's confronted by the raw truth of that reality, and alters the course of history in a blink. Present-day Eddie returns with vivid impressions. He fears that any change might cause catastrophic ripples. He reflects on his days as a reporter for the Daily Globe, before the final fall, and how easy it was to blame Peter for his downfall. Now he doubts himself: is this mission about saving Peter, or reviving his own career and feeding his arrogance? Back at the original moment, his past self debates with Brian the inner demon. They're observed by a frantic symbiote reacting to both of their presences. Eddie seeks redemption but begins to question who he truly wants to save, the symbolic Ben Parker or the real one. Guilt is a virus capable of infecting timelines, and by chasing the past, Eddie finds himself drifting farther from true redemption. Each attempt to undo the symbiote's bond with Peter causes subtle fractures in time. Eddie witnesses tragic alternate outcomes: Peter without powers, unprotected, the symbiote drifting aimlessly, corrupting others. The timeline shatters. Even Wang appears in flashes, now a frustrated lawyer. Eddie watches in horror as, without him as Venom, the symbiote spawns something worse, a creature with no conscience, no restraint, an uncontrollable threat. The temptation grows: would it be easier to erase it all, wipe himself from history? But to destroy the past would be to erase his very existence. The moral question fractures: who deserves redemption, and who deserves punishment? Eddie finds himself in a third temporal reality, this time watched by his future self, more powerful, more self-assured, but also more arrogant. This future version wants to control the past at all costs, convinced he can correct his own mistakes. They clash. The original Eddie argues that conscience saved Peter, the King in Black demands obedience. The symbiotic battle is not physical, it's mental, a war for identity. Space-time quakes with each change in persona. Eddie realizes that in trying to change Peter's fate, he's losing his own. He comes to understand that his power to rewrite time is the very curse every Venom must resist. At the climax, Eddie decides to restore the original line: the symbiote must bond with Peter, by fate, despite the pain it will bring. He pauses time, reconnects realities, and lets the past unfold as it should. When he returns, the present is intact, but a fracture remains. Eddie is no longer the King in Black who rewrites timelines, but the one who accepted the consequences of being Venom. His career is buried, but his conscience is intact. In a final silent page, we see Eddie staring at the New York skyline, the symbiote resting on his shoulder. Redemption is possible, as long as one accepts who they are. The saga continues, but now, with real purpose. And that's another page in the Heroic Chronicles. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and subscribe for more untold tales from the world of comics. There's always another hero, another villain, and another turning point waiting in the shadows. See you in the next chapter.